Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. Actually, am I though? This is a rather shameful makeup rehab, and in today's video, if you don't know what my makeup rehab series is, essentially it's just my makeup and beauty ins and outs for the month. So I share with you all things PR, beauty, makeup, palettes, all the things that came into my beauty collection, and then every single makeup empty that I have. I do have a June massive haul video that I will leave linked down below, and for the most part I'm not really going to share any of my other beauty products because it's just going to feel very redundant. But I will share with you all the palettes, makeup, and empties that I have for the month of June. So if you're interested, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, makeup hauls, palette themed content, those are the types of videos we film over on this channel. So I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment down below, or do anything else the YouTube algorithm loves for you to do. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Okay, I will leave timestamps in the description box down below in case there are any portions of the video that you want to skip. I start with PR, but I actually don't have any PR to share with you this month. Move on to other beauty. I have a couple of callouts or just products I'm really excited about I will share, but I will have a link to my haul down below so you can catch kind of all the other beauty, which is skincare, hair care, all things like that. We'll move on to palettes, then we'll move on to the makeup that I brought in, and then we will move on to empties. And I'm really excited because I do have some exciting makeup empties to share with you. I will also link my recent all 41 makeup empties that I have so far this year, in case you're interested in hearing a little bit more about all of the makeup products that I've used up so far this year. Let's jump into just a few of the other beauty products, just some standouts that I want to call out. So I did repurchase my Olaplex number 4. I told you guys I was going to, and I did. I love this for a clarifying shampoo, and in the summer I spend a ton of time in the pool. As a single parent to a 9-year-old who loves to swim, you don't just get to lounge around by the pool. You don't just get to pop open your Kindle and read. You got to be in there doing the flips, doing the handstands. The hair is, it's taking in a lot of chlorine in the summer, and so I love this clarifying shampoo. I did also purchase the Ellis Brooklyn Banana Milkshake Hair and Body Mist. I love a banana scented anything. In fact, I'm almost done with my Hemp's banana lotion, and I am hoping that I can purchase that again because I love to smell like a banana. I also love bananas, banana Laffy Taffy, things that look like a banana. Where am I going with this? Anyway, I did buy this. My only complaint with this is that when I spray it on, it makes me cough. I'm gonna spray a little bit more on. I already put some of this on today. It was one of those that just it makes you cough. And I will say, it's not super banana scented. It definitely is in my mouth. It definitely has more, okay, I'm giving it a minute. In my opinion, it definitely is more vanilla heavy. I wouldn't even consider this to be I don't really feel like there's a lactonic note in there. I don't really get the milkshake. It really smells mostly like a vanilla with a hint of banana. But I am excited about this. I still like the way that it smells. I feel like it's a really good hair and body mist for the summer. I like to have a hair mist because I constantly feel like my hair just smells like burnt hair if I'm using heat styling tools on it. So I'm excited about that. And then the two other products I just wanted to shout out is I did buy the Youth to the People Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Mask. I recently finished up a little mini size of this, and I said I wanted to buy this in a full size, but I was going to wait. And then I was like, why am I waiting? Because this is one of the skincare products that I really love and was really craving and really just wanting. So I was like, why wouldn't I just I'm just gonna allow myself to get this. This looks so beautiful and glowy. I love this as an overnight hydrating mask, and I'm so glad that I purchased it. And then the last thing I wanted to call out is Tatcha. I believe this is a new product to the Tatcha line. I could be wrong. I don't keep up with all things Tatcha. Tatcha is now on the Ulta website, so maybe it was just new because it's new to Ulta. I think. I don't know. Just I don't know. But it's the Dewy Milk Moisturizer. And I'm really excited about this because I love the Dewy Moisturizer from Tatcha, but that is definitely like a heavier cream that I prefer at night. It is very glowy and not something that I would want to wear under makeup. So I'm hoping this has a similar glow, but is lighter weight and something that I can use as my morning time moisturizer. I have not used this yet. Should I do a little pump? I hate to waste a pump on the back of my hand. I'm not going to. I'll eventually share my thoughts on this at a later date, but I'm excited to try this. All right, moving on to eyeshadow palettes. This was one of my heavier eyeshadow palette months, but I feel like the reason is I am just craving neutral eye looks, neutral with like a pop of sparkle. And so I wanted some neutral. I've been like really drawn to just like boring basic palettes. I did buy 3 palettes this month, putting me at 13 palettes that I bought so far this year. I did go back and look, and this time 2024, so this time last year, I had already purchased 26 eyeshadow palettes. So I've cut my palette spending in half this year, which is kind of crazy to think about. Anyway, the 3 palettes that I bought, I did finally pick up the Danessa Myricks Freedom Pastel Dream palette. I wanted to buy this right away, and then I didn't, and then I was like, oh, maybe I don't need it. But then I felt like I would regret it if I didn't, because I do love the Danessa Myricks formula, and I thought this would be like a cute companion. Like this fits into the volume 6 like component, so I can mix and match with it because it is all magnetized. So I was excited. I feel like for an everyday look, like I can even use these two, and so I thought I would get a lot of use out of it that way. And I am glad that I ultimately decided to pick this up. I haven't tried this yet. We're gonna have to do a whole testing new makeup because we got a lot of new makeup. This is on my eyes today. This is the Viseart Midsummer Lumiere eyeshadow palette. I was perusing Viseart because I feel like I'm just like into Viseart right now. It's just like my vibe. That's my eyeshadow aesthetic right now. And when I looked at this online, for some reason, I thought it was gonna be a lot more warm toned. And then I got it and I opened it up and I was like, that's really more like neutral cool leaning, and it's more like purple leaning. I've done 2 looks with this. If I didn't say I have finished this No Pain Left Behind, meaning I've used every single shade in this palette. Today I have quite a few shades on my eyes, but my main focus was going to be like these 3 shades. Did I do that right? Yeah, these 3 shades. And I was like, certainly these 2 shades are gonna give me more of a neutral brown than the look that I created the other day that definitely felt more purple heavy. And then I put those on my lids, and even these tended to lean like more, or just to pull a little bit more cool tone to more purple. So it's just not my expectation for this. This was different than what I expected it to be. It's still good quality, and I really am impressed with, this is such a beautiful inner corner highlight. This is a beautiful champagne, and then I do really like the like purple blue shifty shadow. I love a shadow like that. So there's some shades in here I really like. It just wasn't exactly what I was wanting it to be. I will say I was very underwhelmed with this shade right here. It feels very dry to the touch, and it's not like ultra pigmented, and it feels almost like a dry lid topper. So that shade I feel like is a bit of a dud. Everything else performs nicely. I just wanted something more warm toned for the summer, but it's okay because I'm sure I will really love this in the winter. And then speaking of warm tones, the 3rd palette I picked up, this is so random, but I picked up the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Original. I just feel like this is exactly what I want right now. I feel like I can create a Z palette of like special shadows out of indie palettes that I love, and then I can use this to create like a grounded matte base, dip into a Z palette with 1 or 2 punchy shadows, and that is just like what I want. Or honestly, even just a matte neutral brown or warm brown look. So I'm actually so excited about this. I'm a little nervous because I feel like when this first launched, people weren't like uber impressed with the quality, which I feel like is why I was really hesitant to buy it. But I feel like I've also seen people talk about this being like a favorite palette of them, and I just feel like this is exactly my vibe right now. So I bought it for the vibes. Those are the 3 eyeshadow palettes that I purchased this month. We can now get into the makeup products. I did bring in 14 makeup products this month. It was a heavy month. It's been like a heavy 3 months of bringing makeup products in. I have a total of 76 makeup products I've purchased this year. All of the information will be in the description box of this video. We've brought a lot of makeup in. I do have my makeup inventory, which if I haven't posted it already, it will be coming very, very soon. I'm planning to film that in the next couple of days, but I'm kind of nervous to see where my makeup inventory lies. Although I will say, I have not been feeling as overwhelmed by my makeup collection this year, and I think that's because when I've been more heavily focused on project panning in the past, I'll hyper focus on a couple of products within each category, and then I feel like the rest of my makeup category is going unused. But this year I'm not as heavily focused on project panning, so I feel like I'm doing a much better job of cycling through my makeup collection, and I'm just having so much more fun with it. So even though I feel like I brought in a lot of makeup, I'm like actually having fun with my makeup collection. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's talk about the products that I brought in. I did buy another Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. I bought the shade Light Medium. I wanted this in a shade that I felt like would match me well in the summer. I do have a self-tan right now, but I honestly feel like this might even be a little bit too dark for me. I'm a little bit worried. However, I think sheared out on the face, it may work. This is such a beautiful all over face glow. That's what I personally like it for. I don't like it for targeted bronzing, although this one, because it is a little bit darker, may work better for a targeted bronze as opposed to the other one that I have, which was just too sheer, but I love that as an all over face glow. I bought this for an all over face bronzing product, similar to the Drunk Elephant Deep Bronzy Drops, but I will have to give this a try also as a targeted bronzing product, because I would be curious how it would work because it's a little bit darker. I hope I'm making sense. I don't feel like I am at all. I did buy a NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I have been spending many nights overnight with the boo, and so I just pack a makeup bag that I can do my makeup quickly in the morning, and I've been doing something a lot more simple. Therefore, I've been using a brow pencil on the days that I bring my makeup bag. I have gone through several Glossier brow pencils, and I wanted something a little bit more affordable. I've gone through several of these pencils in the past as well, and it's working quite nicely for me. I did buy 2 mascaras. I am almost through all of my mascaras. And so e.l.f. came out with a new one. It's the Incredible Curl Mascara, which I was really curious about. And also I bought this one from Clio, which I feel like Julia Adams has spoken really highly about this mascara. It's the Kill Lash Super Proof Mascara. It says long curling. Although I will say my current mascara combination that I've been reaching for is the Lancome Idole, which gives such a nice curl to the lash. And then I've been layering it with the YESStyle volumizing one. I don't know what it is, and I've been really enjoying that combination. I think I will, especially if it's on sale during like mascara time. You know when like Ulta does, I swear there's like a time they do like at least 30% off mascara, possibly half off. If I can get the Lancome one, I am really enjoying that one. Anyway, I bought these 2 mascaras. I'm really going off on a tangent here. I also bought another e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I recently finished off the e.l.f. Jelly Pop. Needing another gripping primer in my life. I love this for the summertime, or honestly anytime, and so I'm very pleased to have that back in the collection. A couple more new e.l.f. products. I'm not really like an e.l.f. girly. I actually am not really a drugstore girly, but from time to time I am curious about what e.l.f. is doing, and these were on the New at Ulta page, or like on the New at Ulta app. Why can't I speak? You guys know what I mean. Anyway, these were new at Ulta, and I think new. So it's the Smoky Kohl eyeliner, and I picked up 2 really fun shades. I picked up Limelight and Sky High. I really hope these show up in the waterline. I think this will be so fun for the summer. I love a neon, and then I also love to do blue eyeshadow, so I hope this shows up in the waterline because I feel like a light blue will just help a bunch of my blue looks pop. And also I feel like a light blue could be really beautiful with like a smoky, cool toned eye. So I'm excited about those. I want to say at Sephora there was like a 4 times points. If you bought something from Sephora collection in your purchase, you got like 4 times points on everything. So I ended up picking up the colorful blush shade in the shade 3 Sunrise. This is what this looks like. I do like something glowy on the face, so I thought this might work well for me. I have swatched this once already, and I do feel like this looks more like a highlight to me, like a peachy highlight, which I'm not mad about. Like I can get down with a peachy highlight, or possibly a blush topper, but I feel like it's almost too glowy to be a blush topper. I do not feel like on its own I could wear this as a blush. Like, it definitely looks so much oranger in the pan than it does swatched out. Possibly this over top of like a coral or an orange blush could work really well. We're gonna have to try it out. But to me, it definitely reads more as a highlight. It could be really beautiful on the shoulders or hopefully even the cheeks in the summer. I'm a little hesitant though. We'll see. I did place an order on Viv Cosmetics. I went on to look at potentially rebuying the Vive Velvet Sands lip liner, which we're about to see as a spoiler, is an empty. Love that lip liner, love that formula. And while I was on the website, this is the first thing that drew my attention. It is the Dimension face palette. I personally love a face palette. It is just, I enjoy a face palette so much. And this just called to me because I feel like everything in here is just like exactly what I'm looking for these days. We've got two very nude neutral blushes, which I love a nudie blush. There is something about just like a pinch of color on the cheeks that kind of just like almost looks like an extension of your bronzer perhaps. I think is so beautiful. So we have this salmon colored blush and then we have this like peachy bronzy blush. Both are matte. Then we have a glowy blush shade up here that I felt like would just be such a beautiful glowy pinched sunburnt cheek. Thought it would be so pretty for this time of year. And then we have a golden highlight, which I think the highlight will probably be my least use of all of them, but you never know. You never know. This just looks so pretty. I could not deny this. So I ended up buying this. I actually didn't repurchase the lip liner, shockingly enough. But I did also pick up the Skin Nova Complexion Balm. I do think that the shade I got is going to be way too light for me for the summer, but perhaps I can mix it with like my Lawless Forget the Filler foundation, which I think is too dark for me. I saw a couple of people, as I was on the website, I was kind of then going to watch videos of people using these products to kind of see what they look like. This looks like it will be a very glowy complexion product, but honestly, that is really what I'm craving these days. So I wanted to give this a try, as well as the Modern Radiance Concealer. I feel like I was seeing quite a few good reviews of this concealer, and I just thought, what the heck? I guess we're gonna try a new concealer. And then the final product I am so excited about. These swatches on this looked so beautiful. I almost purchased two of these, but I told myself I needed to like see if I liked the formula first. And then if I do, I can purchase the other shade that I was thinking of, which the other shade was definitely more like bronzy. And I feel like I should have gotten that one, but I ended up going with the shade Rosa, which is a very like neutral nude sort of shade. But again, I've been really loving a nude blush. And I know it like barely shows up on my skin, but I feel like that is such a beautiful, just sheer wash of color. And for day to day, I thought would be so pretty. It also appears to give such a beautiful glow. Like, I just think that is so pretty. So I'm hoping that I love this. Then I can buy the other shade. And then when I'm on the website purchasing the other shade, I can buy another lip liner because I do already miss Vive Velvet Sands. And then the final two makeup products that I purchased, one of them is on my lips today. This is the NYX Smushy Matte Lip Balm. This is only my second time putting this on, but I will say this is such an interesting and unique product because it truly feels like a lip balm when you put it on. It's giving like, oh my gosh, almost like cherry chapstick, but like in a lip gloss sort of applicator. I also think the packaging on this is just so freaking adorable. I picked up the shade Sweet Smack because I wanted something that was a little bit colorful and not like every other lip product that I have. This is what I have on my lips today, and I think it's so fun. I've been having fun with pink lips lately, and I really like this. I did layer a Buxom Plump Shot on top of this, but I like the way that the two layered. For a matte lip product, it doesn't look matte right now because obviously I put the Plump Shot over top, but it really does read as like a blurred matte lip product, but it feels nourishing and hydrating like a lip balm. Most bizarre thing ever. Would absolutely purchase more shades if I continue to like this in the way that I like this. And the final makeup product that I purchased, I did buy one of the Milk Balm Aids. I'm sorry, but the packaging I just could not say no to. I ended up going with, I believe this is the shade Juiced. Yes, the shade Juiced. It was really hard for me not to go with the yellow one because I love a bright neon yellow, but the center shade of that just looked not as interesting. Although I will say this one, I think this is like a black raspberry or a blackberry scent. It really does go on the lips quite sheer, which is fine. It's honestly fine, but I thought maybe it would have like a slight bit of like a purple tint to it. it truly smells like Kool-Aid powder. Like it has a pretty strong, like, I don't even want to say sugary, but it truly smells like, or like Crystal Light packets. Like it has that sort of scent to it. I don't mind it at all. I actually really have enjoyed this product the few times that I have put this on. I feel like this is a product that could quickly become a new favorite. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to end up loving it quite as much as the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve, but I feel like I could like them pretty similarly. Again, I've only used this a couple of times, but those are kind of my first impressions of this product. Those are the 14 makeup products that I have brought in. Before we move on to empties, I would love for you to pause the video and comment if you brought anything in June and what you purchased, because I'm feeling a little bit shameful about how much makeup I brought in. But it's okay, because I'm having so much fun with it. Let me grab my empties. I had a really good empties month, so I'm excited to share them with you. This is my second really good empties month in a row, so I am a little bit nervous that we're gonna have a couple of months now where I don't have a lot of empties at all. The other thing I will say is last makeup rehab, I told you guys I wanted to finish another 5 lip products before I allowed myself to buy any more lip products. I didn't quite finish 5 lip products, but I did finish 4, and I only purchased 2 lip products, so we're still net -2. So I'm taking that as a win in my books. Now I'm telling myself I'd like to finish another at least 3 lip products before I buy 1 more lip product. I feel like I should be like 3 to 1 now for my lips ins and outs. I have a lot of lip products I'm trying to get through. I'm feeling overwhelmed by the lip collection. Not that I haven't for several years now. All right, let's jump into the empties. So up first, I have the Benefit Professional Super Setter. I did finish this off. This is my favorite setting spray for making my makeup last all day. I do have a couple others that I'm currently trying to work my way through. I have the MAC Stay Over, I believe it is. And then I have the Bare Minerals one that I use kind of interchangeably for the same purpose as this. But if this is on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for half off, I will be purchasing, like, regardless of what's still in my collection. Otherwise, I will wait until I finish those 2 before I repurchase this. But as I said, it is my favorite setting spray for making my makeup last all day. It doesn't dry my skin out. That's what I love about it. I have 2 brow products as empties. I have another Boy Arch. This takes less than a month to go through. Glossier did send a bunch of these over to me. I love this brow product, but in my opinion, it's just unacceptable to like how quickly I go through this. Like, I just cannot justify buying one of these like every 3 weeks, which is essentially what I would need to do. And then I also finished the Boy Brow, which takes significantly longer to go through. This is their tinted brow gel. I had the shade Dark Brown. I have also gone through another one of these way back in the day. I prefer the Undone Beauty tinted brow gel. That's my favorite tinted brow gel. So I wouldn't purchase this again, but I do think it's a really nice tinted brow gel and a good brow product. Okay, the rest of these I feel like are all pretty exciting. We can talk, I have 2 primer empties. So as I mentioned, I did finish up the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I wish they would bring this back. I would purchase several if they did. It is by far my favorite primer. It does such a nice job of gripping. It's hydrating. It is glowy, but it is not a permanent part of their line, and you can't get this right now, so that is a big bummer. And then I also finished up my Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. Would not repurchase this. This was fine. I definitely like this a lot more when I first started using it, but I'm just looking for something different in my primer these days. This didn't have a tap to it. It did have a really beautiful soft lit kind of blur to it, but it's just not what I'm looking for in a primer, so won't be repurchasing that. 4 lip products. Should we do the lip products next that I've emptied out and finished up? If I didn't say, I have 11 empties, which is really exciting because that means compared to what I purchased, we only are net like 3. So that's good. Although if we were to compare what I've emptied out this year versus what I brought in, I think I brought in 35 more makeup products than I've used up. Anyway, the lip products that I've emptied out and finished up. The Iconic London Lip Plumping Gloss is finally an empty, you guys. I literally cannot believe it. It took me, I swear, years to go through this. I will miss the shade of this. I think it's such a beautiful milky nude lip gloss, but I hate the applicator of this, so I wouldn't purchase again unless I was like absolutely desperate. But there's so many other beautiful glosses out there. Like Buxom definitely has something similar to this. Lawless, I can get something similar to this, and I just prefer the applicators and the formula of those 2 over this. But this, I mean, definitely bang for your buck. this took so long to empty out, and it's so beautiful on the lips. This is random, and I was like, I haven't talked about this in several years. This, I believe I purchased in 2020 or 2021. I finally finished this up. It's the e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm in Tough Cookie. Would not buy this again. Way too thick, pretty pigmented. It was fine for an overnight lip sleeping mask. However, because it was so pigmented, like it would get on my pillows and it just like wasn't a good situation. So for me, I would not buy this again. I like the Laneige lip sleeping masks. As I keep saying, I finished up my my Vive Velvet Sands lip liner. Such a sad day. This is such a beautiful nude lip liner. I love this so much. The formula is so good. It is like a crayon, and it's creamy enough that it glides onto the lips, but it is so long lasting. Like it glides on, not super creamy, like it tugs a bit but not tuggy. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. It's such a great formula because it lasts such a long time. I will absolutely be buying this again, but I do want to kind of cycle through my lip liner collection a little bit before buying again. Velvet Sands is a shade that I already miss and will buy this shade again as well. And then the final lip product empty I have is my Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask, which took me so long to get through as well. Love this product, already had one on backup. Such a good lip prep step. I would use this every single morning as I was getting ready. I would put it on my lips. And what's nice about this is it plumps your lips while still feeling hydrating and nourishing. It's the most bizarre thing ever, but I swear it works. I absolutely will repurchase when I go through my second one, but it will likely take me 9 months to a year to go through my next one, and that is like pretty consistent use. I would say at least 3 to 4 times a week. The packaging on this is quite deceiving. You get a ton of product in this. It lasted me such a long time. And this is a very long lasting lip product as well. In terms of like on the lips, like sometimes I would go for like a 5-mile walk, plop this on the lips, and it was still there when I returned from my walk. And then the final 2 empties that I have, this is an exciting one. This is the Westmin Atelier Lit Up or Highlighting Stick in the shade, Lit Up Highlight Stick. And this was in the shade Nectar. I scraped this out. This is a really beautiful highlighting product, but it is something that was sticky on the cheeks. Definitely not going to be everybody's favorite. And I have gone on to purchase one other shade in this product. However, going forward, after I finish that one up, I don't see myself purchasing this again. Potentially, I would buy the potted or like the cream highlight from Westmin Atelier that's in a pan. But this just, it was too sticky on the cheeks. It's beautiful, but it's just sticky, and that's not my favorite. I also prefer, for a cream or a liquid highlight, I prefer, sorry, cream, not liquid, but for a cream highlight, I prefer it to be in a pan rather than a stick. I just find the application to be better and more flattering that way. So would not purchase again, but I'm very excited to have the highlight empty at the end, well, now and at the end of the year to share in my makeup empties for the year. What am I saying? Okay, and then the final empty is another one that has taken me several years to finish up. It's the Nabla Skin Bronzing in the shade Ambra. Beautiful bronzer. Has been a favorite bronzer of mine for like many times. This has been like my top favorite or in my top 3. I'm kind of bored of this. I'm kind of over this one. I kind of just love my Dior one right now. So it's not something that I'm itching to go repurchase. Like I said, it took me years to finish this up. This has been in several project pans. It is beautiful on the skin though. It was a beautiful baked formula. It has a bit of a sheen to it, so it's not totally matte, but it's also not like a glowy bronzer. So I feel like it's just so flattering on so many different skin types. And I really enjoyed this, but I'm so glad to be done with it and so excited to have a powder bronzer empty. After that though, you guys, that is going to wrap up and conclude today's makeup rehab update. Again, I would love to know in the comments below what you bought this month, and definitely let me know how many makeup empties you finished off this month. Let's cheer each other on in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.